Hello and welcome back to another episode of Screen Tested. I am your host Tyrant, where we take things from movies, TV shows, pop culture, try to create them in the real world and test them one-to-one from the media that they come from. Now in today's episode, I am joined by Nate once again, and that sun just kicked right up.
Really, like, right
Whoa.
in the face.
It is always good to have you on the channel.
It is always good to be here. You've made an abomination this time. These things look amazing and feel really uncomfortable.
Okay, all right, so what are we doing in today's episode? Well, as you might know, Deadpool Wolverine has released, I literally think, yesterday or today, one of the others. So that's when this episode is going to be coming out. So I thought, why not take a look at the Wolverine claws? I first did these when I started the channel, so it's been quite a while, and I wanted to get your opinion on them because my opinion is rather negative and I don't really think it's changed. So this time you can have a negative opinion and you can get the flag.
I haven't even used them yet. I've just held on to them and I'm like, this looks really cool and feels really bad.
Exactly.
But we'll see how we go with using them.
So we're going to do some thrusts, we'll do some cuts with them. We'll just talk a little bit more about the, I guess, the theoretical side of it. Yeah. Because I tried to explain it in the first episode that these don't have enough of an aggressive angle to get the benefits of something like a forward-facing curve, like a scythe or a sickle, right? They just don't have enough of it. However,
if you actually face them forward.
Yes, you face them forward or even flat, they actually can perform a little bit better. And a lot of people retorted with, oh, so what, you think claws are terrible? You think all these, and it's like...
The claws are for ripping, not cutting.
They're for ripping, they're not for cutting. They also have more, on average, more of an aggressive angle, and they're also shorter.
Yes.
These are longer with a very shallow curve, like barely any curve.
You need a lot of wrist strength.
And then we also have the added issue that they share all of that surface area. Yes. Now, I'm kind of rehashing what I got to in the first episode. Check out the first episode if you haven't already, because I go in depth in these sorts of things. But I just want to get Nate up to speed so then we can get started. So, do you want to chuck on the gloves?
Yes, and because that is already just the connection points into the palm is a bit...
This one I can give him a bit of a pass because maybe that's just more my craftsmanship than like an issue with this sort of weapon.
I feel like Tyrant's craftsmanship is usually pretty on point.
It is
pretty all right.
But when I don't have time, it's a bit harsh.
You never have time.
Yeah, I know. Something else I should mention, if this is your first time watching this, the reason why these are so thin is because Wolverine's claws are really thick. Okay, so these ones here are some plastic replicas. And as you can see, if we just hold them like this, the difference in profile.
Yeah.
These are super duper thick.
These are like your normal sort of knife, dagger sort of looking things.
Now, this is an interesting one because like these points here, super robust. So very good for thrusting. But when it comes to slashing, like that's the thickness of a katana. That's sword thickness.
The back thickness of a katana. But
and that's 3 of them.
Exactly. And that's, to be fair, that would look good in a comic book because a thin little thing like this,
that's fine, yeah.
It doesn't look good on a comic book. It's very hard to draw, where something like that has profile from every angle.
Yes, and I agree with that. Like they do look very cool, but when it comes to like a functional weapon, that's why I made them like this. A lot thinner, a lot sharper, and also like they're not as strong, obviously because they don't have as much material, but I think they compensate by being able to slash.
Yes.
Because if this was real, I don't think this would be able to cut anything apart.
I feel like you'd only be using, oh God, this is very, I feel like you'd only be using that much. Trying to use all of it is just too much.
But you gotta remember, you are cutting a target like this. You're just gonna slap it. You end up just gonna slap it. And that's what I found in the first episode. But Nate, it's your turn to anger people, so.
Oh,
now you can start. Well, these are plastic. These are plastic. These don't hurt. These don't hurt.
All right, let's see. I feel like you've got to have good angle with the wrist or else everything's gonna go and collapse. Let's see. That was very smooth, like I barely even noticed that. That was very, very nice. It doesn't have the pressure in it anymore, but so last time the stab was already on an empty bottle, which is harder to do. Tyrant, it's harder to do. So let's try it on a full bottle. I might fail at this one, but we'll see. That was like super clean.
How'd that one feel?
Shut up. That one felt good. I like the stab on these. The stab on these is nice.
Okay, since Nate did so well with his cut test.
You just don't like being shown up on your own channel.
It's my turn. Let's do this again. They're still sharp. Like I've sharpened these up so they should be fine. I will do exactly what he did.
Ah!
some eagle-eyed viewers might actually notice that I am not wearing my regular gambeson. It's here on Tony, and I am wearing this absolutely fantastic brand new gambeson made by Steel Mastery. And I wanted to talk about it very quickly. This is not sponsored. They did not pay me a cent. I just genuinely absolutely love the quality of their products. I actually reached out to them when I started the channel to get me a new gambeson because I despise this one.
He worked with what he could. He did really work with what he could. I know you guys don't see a lot of Tyrant complaining. You'll see him crack it a bit. You don't see a lot of complaining. Behind the scenes, there was a lot of, this is wrong, this is irritable, but you couldn't move your neck.
You were there when I first got this. I've had this for 2 years, and it's been like cardboard the entire time. Not only that, it like yanks on my neck. I haven't been able to bend down. I've had no mobility. So I've hated this thing for a very, very long time. But it did protect me. It actually saved me a couple of times. Oh, I hate it. And before you ask if I'm going to destroy it or burn it, we've done a lot of videos with this thing, and we've done some dangerous stuff with it. And so I don't want to destroy it because it does have some sentimental value. I just never want to put it on ever again. And
So we probably will destroy it.
from now on, I'm going to be wearing this absolutely fantastic Steel Mastery one. There'll be a link in the description in the pinned comment. It's not affiliate, I don't make any money, nothing like that.
And just as a note for anybody who is thinking of buying one of these little shoulder pads, this
Yes.
is amazing, these little shoulder pads and little waists and little corners, that's a Tyrant special. He adds that.
That's a
as you
custom
can see.
thing.
So,
Now, they do some custom stuff because this is,
do.
for the most part, they can kind of do whatever you want if you want to get it. This one here is the wine red. I can't remember if it was a jacket originally because I wanted the mobility of my arms so they're not connected, and they were able to do it. And this thing is so soft and comfortable. Yeah.
No, I'm good.
No, just rub it.
No, I'm
just
good.
a little.
I'm good.
Just a little.
I'm good.
It's really good.
No.
Whatever. All right, but I just wanted to mention that really quickly and rant how much I hate this one as well, because I genuinely really like Steel Mastery, and I personally really, that's why I recommend it. Anyway, let's get back to the episode. I'm actually impressed that you did that. That's because the slashing on these suck, which you'll get to soon.
Stab. Yep.
I'm gonna turn it away from me so it doesn't get me. Every f***ing time. All right, let's do that again.
Yeah, I reckon mine was better.
That didn't feel as bad as last time. Huh. Which is interesting because these are the exact same claws. They haven't changed at all.
More tippy with it. It's not a
No.
sword. Yeah, that's
That's a lot of
That would
damage.
be deep gashes.
Yeah. Those thrusts were absolutely,
Oh, the thrust felt
Gnarly.
like nothing.
The-
I felt more resistance using a sword than I did with that, but it's connected directly to your arm, so you're going to
Yeah.
get more thrust than you would that way.
that's true. All right, let's do one more. Like, that went straight into that bottle. It was such a clean cut, like you can't even see it. Yeah, that one kind of just popped it a little bit. But that just, like, look at that. That is just, it's like it's not even there. All right. It did okay. It did okay with the water bottles. Now it's time for some pool noodles, because this is where,
This is where what? This is where what?
they're not going to be so optimistic.
Oh, okay.
I'll start.
You know what? So far, because they didn't side with you last time, they said it's There's always one, right?
The interesting effect that I found that happened was when you would actually thrust into these, because they're kind of offset from one another, the further you go in, the more resistance you get because they're actually spreading them apart. And that also makes it really difficult to kind of pull them out. So both to insert them and to pull them out, it adds a little bit of pressure onto it. But in terms of cutting, okay, let's try some cutting. I'm getting flashbacks.
Just do the thing.
It hurts my hand when I do this. Oh, that's holy. Okay, coming over with this.
Better? Oh, that's so. Before we show this properly, I've seen video of workplace accidents of hands in machinery, that looks like that.
That looks like that.
And that's like 3/4 of an inch deep.
Yeah, and
That's
like the reason why I don't think I cut through it is simply because of I'm trying to get with the tips, and that doesn't cut all the way through.
No.
But I don't want to go further down on the blade because I think it's going to be worse. So let's try another one on a fresh noodle, just to see if we can repeat those results.
Good luck. Interesting
Results here. Kind of slapped for these two.
Yeah.
Little bit of a cut.
Yep. Ah. So all the pressure got put on one of them.
So as you can see, it literally almost cut this one in half. I think that's enough for me.
Well, I need more of pool noodles, so you got a knife?
Yeah, I got 3 of them.
Thanks.
Now it's Nate's turn to feel how terrible that feels on the hand.
Brother,
let's give it actual structure. Ah, all right, that wasn't too nice.
That's what I've been waiting for.
No, I'm just not. That doesn't feel too crash. So Tyrants wants me to try this like slow penetration thing to see how that.
Don't say it like that.
That's what you said. Yeah, that doesn't feel right. Like it feels like it's doing a lot of damage, and I would just be able to go, oh no, I can't even do that because of that angle.
But hold on, look.
Yeah, I know, they're spreading.
They're spreading.
Yeah, and also they kind of get caught.
Yep.
They're deadly, like penetrating into something, that's what he told me to do. It is absolutely deadly, but they do get that spread as they're going. I mean, let's say, randomly, somebody uses this on you, or goes to use this on you. I would be scared.
Well, okay, we got to think about this. Like, what type of weapon is this? And what I mean by that is, if somebody pulled them out, yes, they will kill you. Yes, they will cut you. They are deadly. They are dangerous. But so is every other piece of like sharpened steel.
Yes.
So when you have these, it's like, okay, would I choose these against other weapons?
No.
That's where
No.
you kind of like.
Unless, of course, it's a full Maul Ninja thing. Like if somebody pulled out one of those double-bladed knives. No.
Now, I want to be clear. We're talking about these things in the context of like the real world. We're not talking about comic books. We're not talking about movies. We're not talking about any of that sort of stuff. We're talking purely about like these sort of functional weapons in reality. Let's be clear about that.
I still feel like that if somebody pulled this out and tried to rob you in a dark alley, just throw them your wallet because nope.
Right. Yeah. I can see that. I can see that.
Yeah. But these do have an advantage over something like a knife, which is you can open your hand and you still have the weapon. So, as an example, if you needed to use an open hand for something, it's not great, but you would lose the knife.
Right, but we are talking about like one potential positive versus a whole multitude of trade-offs that are negatives.
Yes. I mean, they're still sharp. Also, I just tested these before. These are now blunt after the first full noodle. That's why I couldn't cut mine.
The tips are a little bit, just the tip. Just the tip is a little bit blunt, that is true.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep. That's
so they need to be sharpened up again.
Blaming that.
Thanks for watching today's episode, guys. Genuinely hope you enjoyed. Just a little quick fun one because the movie's out. And I wanted to get Nate's genuine thoughts because he hasn't used any of these before. And I really was not sold on them the first time around. This time they did perform better, actually.
Yeah. So when they're sharp and they're thin, I don't mind them. But as soon as they started to blunt off, you don't have the structural integrity.
They still did hurt the palm of your hand, you know, but that's sort of like maybe you could fix that in a different design. I get all that.
Like if they're connected to your bone structure somehow?
Perhaps, yeah. But we're talking about the real world. So thanks for watching, guys. And as always, I'll see you in another episode. Have a good one.